while I was under the van the other day fitting the new gear cables, the gear linkage cables, I saw that this part, it's like a counterweighted piece on the gear mechanism, was really rattling and really worn. And now I've got this one from Mercedes, that's the part number there. It wasn't that expensive in the grand scheme of things. I'm going to get under the van now and just replace that. It's just one T50 Torx bit that I'll need. This is the part I'm going to be replacing here. And as you can probably see in here, there's loads of play in it. I've also got this little plastic bit to replace as well, so let's get on with that now. Okay, so I'm in there and it's undone. I couldn't quite get my T50 bit in there because it's so long, so I used a T45 and that's worked well without any problems, so that's good. So I'm just undoing that now, just get that off. There we go. Okay, so there it is, that's the bit. So there's the old one, and here is the new one. There's no play in this bolt whatsoever, so obviously with it being brand new, and it's got the plastic sheathing in there, I'm sure you can see that. I'm just going to grease it up and then we'll get it in and see how it is. Just putting a spot of silicone grease around this, so make sure it's nice and smooth in its operation. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Right, let's get in place. Okay, there's the new weighted lever in place, and I don't know if you can hear that, but there's the tiniest little bit of play in it, I think, just to allow for movement between the gears. So all I've got to do now is pop the plastic bit to link this bar with a bit at the top, and yeah, that's it. Happy days. I'll show you when that's in place. Oh, smooth. Right, so we're all on. We've got the sort of counterweight arm and also the plastic clip. I hope you can see there. Originally, when I first started this series of videos to try and improve the gear selection on this Mercedes Sprinter, first was really difficult to get into, second was almost impossible, reverse was just a nightmare. When I was getting into trying to jam it into first, the reverse lights and the reverse camera were coming on. I was having all sorts of problems. Since then I've replaced the bush, which made a massive difference. There's a video here on how to do that. Then I replaced the entire gear mechanism, then I replaced the gear linkage cables, and I'll pop a link to that as well. So the last thing that I've just done was, yeah, that counterbalance gear linkage. So just running it through the gears, first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. Obviously I'm not going anywhere, and also reverse, which brings on the reversing camera. Lovely. Yeah, any difference overall? Well, the counterbalance is just almost the icing on the cake. I've got one last thing to do, which is a fluid change, so I'm going to change the gearbox oil. Any differences with that counterbalance weight changed? Yeah, when I used to check for the gearbox was in neutral, I used to get this horrible clanking and clattering under the van towards the gearbox. Now it just honestly it's like absolutely brand new. As I'm driving, the gears now are super slick. I mean, they are absolutely, they're going like silk. So I'm really pleased about the massive difference, the massive changes overall. All the things that I've done to the gear selection have been, and yeah, just changing that counterbalance, like I say, was just a cherry on top. It was just the icing on the cake, just to make sure that everything's as good as it's ever going to be on this now. And just literally one bolt to undo, take the old one off, put the new one on with the new bolt. That's it, you're done. That little plastic piece as well, just, you know, just sorted it all out. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. So I think if you got you know, slightly loose gears, and you've tried other things. The main thing was, like I say, when I'm wriggling it around in neutral, I was getting this real clattering, clanging, knocking under the van. Nothing like that at all now. The only sound you can hear is the actual gear mechanism with the ball and socket in the cab itself. Nothing else makes a noise at all, and it springs back into neutral really well. So yeah, happy days. So that's it from me. Last video in this series, as I say, is going to be that gearbox fluid change. So yeah, if you stick around, you'll get to see that one as well. So don't forget to give me a like if this video has been helpful, and check out these other videos here in this series. I'll put a link to the playlist here right now. And that's it. I'll catch you guys all again soon.